All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to I have to remind myself it's Monday, our Monday social. I don't know about you. I had today off from my regular job. But I'm totally confused. My brain thinks it's Sunday, which means tomorrow will be super confusing when I have to go into the office. And really all that a 3-day weekend means is that we have to cram 5 days worth of work into 4 days, but that's okay. I'll take the day. My name is Maya, and I am here in Denver, Colorado, where it started out, yesterday was beautiful. It was like 60 degrees. I was outside and it was sunny and it was beautiful. Today it started out maybe a little cloudy, but it was still pretty nice. And then all of a sudden around 12:30, the storm started rolling in, and now we've dropped down to, I think we're at about 22 degrees now. And I think it's supposed to get down to like maybe 1 or something tonight, maybe snow. So of course I'm always hoping for a snow day. I work in a school district, so I'm always crossing fingers for those snow days. So welcome to folks who are new. I saw there were a few new folks here for social. Welcome. Hopefully you enjoy this. Our socials are always a little bit different depending on what we're working on. So we'll kind of go over what we'll have on the agenda. Welcome back to our returning folks. Be sure that you set your chat to everyone so that everyone here in the webinar, in the social, can see what your comments are. And everyone who is here tonight is entered automatically into the self-care gift raffle. So every month we do a drawing from all of our folks who attend a social, and someone wins a really fun self-care gift basket. So keep an eye out for that. They usually announce winners. They'll talk about that in some of the different emails and things that you get. The other thing I always like to mention to folks is you should be getting emails. I believe today there was the Compass, which is one of our monthly newsletters. I have this weird hair, so I apologize if I keep like touching my face. Today the Compass went out. And so if you don't get any emails from Silk and Sonder, first of all, check your spam filter. They love to go into the spam filters. If you have Gmail, make sure that you check your promotions tab. They a lot of times like to go popping into there. And if you're not getting anything from Silk and Sonder, it would be with the email that you used to sign up with. Send an email to hello@silkandsonder.com, and my lovely stage manager, Jennifer, will pop that email into the chat for you, and will remind you to, if you ever have any questions about Silk and Sonder, anything, maybe you're not getting emails or you're not getting information, you have some questions, feedback, concerns, those kinds of things, always feel free. They are very, very happy to help. So speaking of Jennifer, Jennifer is my stage manager tonight. She will be manning the chat. She's popping on and she's going to wave. Hi, Jennifer. And she gave me the idea for our warm-up activity tonight. So I'm very excited to get to that. So if you were in the Sonder Club today, you probably saw a little teaser for our warm-up activity. So without further ado, as you probably know, since we're on this last week of February, can you believe it? February is always such a fast month. Our theme has been adoration. And I also wanted to pop in the daily affirmation. I know it was very slow to go into this, into the app today. A lot of us were getting the, oh, it looks like you're trying to get ahead message, but they did finally put that on there. So if you haven't got a chance to see it or say it yet, today's affirmation was, I am open and receptive to all the wealth life offers me. And I love that, because this idea of wealth, also really kind of think about what is wealth. It could be money, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be many, many, many things. So I just wanted to pop that in there so you can kind of see that was the affirmation for today. So here's our agenda for this evening. We are going to do what I call the little warm-up activity. We always have a little warm-up, get you thinking about that idea of adoration. Then we're going to do the adoration exercise that's in your February journal on page 16. So I know a lot of times folks love to come to these socials because there's pages that they maybe would not have done without coming to the social. So we'll spend some time with that. Then we'll also do the adoration poem that's on page 19, and then we'll close it out. All right. So for your warm up, right? Thinking about adoration, thinking about just this idea of respect and love and affection. What I want you to do is to find a blank page in your journal, or it can be a scratch piece of paper, some other notebook, whatever you want to write in. And what I want you to do is to pick an object of sentimental value, something that you adore, right? Oh, thank you, Amber. She said my eyes were very blue tonight. So pick that object of sentimental value or some object that you adore and write its story. Tell us about what it is, right? So you can just kind of write, what is it? Why is it special? And does it make you think of a person or a place or a space and time? How does that theme of adoration play into that? So when Jennifer was pitching the idea to me for this activity, she was, when she said that, I was thinking, gosh, what is an object, something that I have that I adore? Because I've got to admit, I have a lot of stuff. I'm definitely a sentimental person. I have a lot of clutter. A lot of things have sentimental value. But so the first thing that popped into my mind was my little bunny. His name is Hops. I got him from my great grandmother when I was probably, I don't know, maybe I was 1 or 2. I wasn't very old. And I took this poor bunny everywhere. This bunny went everywhere with me. If you see pictures of me when I was little, I slept with my bunny. I drug him around. I drooled all over my bunny. And I've got to tell you, this bunny, he had fur. Okay, his little face was furry, and his little legs were furry, and you can see he's kind of patched up. You can see on his one little leg there's a little patch. You can see the stitching is kind of torn away. His little hands are kind of threadbare. Poor little guy. Yeah, Jennifer, she said it's my own velveteen rabbit. I don't know if he comes alive at night. He might. It's hard to say. So what's interesting, and I didn't take a picture of him naked because I thought he might not like that. But if you saw him, he literally is patched everywhere. There's little patches all over him. And my great grandmother helped patch him. My grandmother helped patch him. My grandmother on my mom's side helped patch him. And then when I got older, I actually did some of the patchwork myself, some of the sewing. It's kind of how I learned to do a lot of different sewing. And the little dress that he has on is actually the dress that one of my sisters came home from the hospital wearing. And I adore my little sisters. I have 4 of them. Okay, I don't adore them all the time, but generally speaking, I adore my little sisters. And so I put this little dress, which is kind of funny to think one of my sisters was ever actually this small, right? So I put that on. Yeah, and you can see the patches are on his ears. There's wire in there, but they don't really stand up anymore. And you can see his eyes are kind of scratched. But this little bunny really reminds me of all the love from family. Just kind of, again, like I said, everybody kind of helped patch him. And I was telling Jennifer, there was one story. I was 3 years old and we had taken a trip somewhere. I'm not sure where we had gone, on an airplane. And I left Hops on the airplane, right? And we got home because I think I was asleep and my mom picked me up and Hops must have fallen to the floor or something. And so mom brought me, mom and dad got home. And then when I woke up, my bunny was gone. And I was, of course, you can imagine a 3-year-old was probably not a real patient person. So my mom called the airlines. Of course, this was back in 72. I'm a little older than maybe some of you, but this was back in 1972. I was on Frontier Airlines, and my mom called the airlines and they found Hops and they drove him out to our house. They actually delivered him at like some ridiculous hour in the morning. I don't know, like 3 a.m. or something, to bring him. And my mom wrote a really nice letter of appreciation to the airlines. And they wrote back and said, thank you so much for letting us know about our, super helpful flight attendants. They were called stewardesses back at then. My mom actually used to be a stewardess for United. And so they wrote a letter back, and I still have the letter that came with him when they sent it back. So super awesome. I love so anytime I ever see like an abandoned little stuffed animal or something, I'm always like, oh my gosh, how can we get this back, to where it belongs? So this little bunny symbolizes a lot of love. And I see lots of other of you have these great stories about, there's Tina saying she had a Winnie the Pooh that she got for Christmas, and was in a bad situation until she was older, and she still has them. And is the only thing she has from her childhood. So hugs to you, Tina. And I love that you still have your Winnie the Pooh and teddy bears and all of those things. So what I'd love for you to do, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to turn on a little bit of music. You can write out a little story. I was thinking I should make a little story. I could make like a little children's book story or something for Hops to kind of talk about that. But what kind of objects of adoration do you have, things that you adore? And Jennifer was popping into the chat. Maybe it's a special piece of jewelry or a book, or maybe it's a rock that you picked up when you were maybe at a lake or something, or some seashells, or a book, or a dish, some sort of a trinket, any of those little kinds of things. So take some time, write that down, think about that. If you have the object, you can get that out in front of you and kind of take a look at it, right? For a lot of us, our objects of affection are kind of our touchstone to kind of touch and hold and can kind of bring back some of those good feelings. And feel free to share in the chat what you have. And I will pop on some music and then I will be back and check on everyone. All right. So, oh my gosh, Jennifer and I have loved reading some of the different stories, different objects of your affection that you have. And I saw, was it Jess that put something? She said, "Oh, I wrote about my cat. I guess I read the assignment wrong." You know what? Your cat can totally be I don't want to say object because I feel like the cat will get mad if we call them an object, but could definitely be a source of affection. I definitely, my two kitties are definitely source of affection. And I saw some folks had photos of aunts and uncles and grandparents and all those things, which lovely, love to have those, around. And then I saw someone they had a pillow with a teddy bear on it, but it was stolen when they were younger. And but it was nice because they said, "I wonder what kind of adventures that pillow may have gone on." And, again, like I think of some of this stuff and I think of these objects of our affection and I think, wouldn't it be cool? You could write just like this cool story of what things have seen and what they've done. Like the fact that I've actually been able to kind of keep Hops around as long as I have and not lose him, with different moves and those kinds of things is definitely a good thing and kind of amazing. So I also saw some, there's a pearl necklace that grandma gave with adding pearls for holidays. So that is certainly a lovely jewelry. A lot of times is a very nice object of affection. Let's see what else. I was just kind of going through here, all these really super fun pieces. And, this again is a good activity to do in your journal. And then you kind of have that written out for you. And if you don't have any childhood objects with you, I mean, we certainly know not everyone has everything or, can keep something from when they were a child, but sometimes they have something that was a parent's or someone else's. But we do have memories that we can think of. Pictures, photographs are great. My husband has been, bless his little heart, he's been scanning all of our family albums that we had growing up. And so it's really funny because my husband and I are about the same age. And so a lot of the pictures that we have, some of the clothes that we have and some of the household furnishings that we have are very, very similar growing up. But I saw someone has grandma put together a handwritten cookbook with cutout pictures. Cookbooks are great objects of affection, especially if they've been well used, right? There's kind of the messiness of a cookbook. And you can always find the recipe that was clearly the favorite recipe because it has lots of little finger smudges and those kinds of things. So that is super fun. Lots of stuffed animals. Oh, a stuffed hippopotamus. That is awesome. And one thing, if you have kiddos who have that stuffed animal, that is the object of their affection. I have heard, I do not have little human children myself, but I have lots of little, what we call nibblings, right? Nibbling is the gender neutral term for nieces and nephews. But buy several of whatever it is and hide the others away and rotate them through so they're all worn equally. So if one does happen to get lost, you can find the one that's hidden away in storage and you can pop that back in. And so I don't know, I'd be interested to see if anybody's actually done that successfully. I always like how people say that works, but I don't know. I feel like kids are pretty smart nowadays, right? Oh yeah, no, Jess, I do not want any children of my own. I love other people's children. Like I said, we have 11 nibblings and I have lots of cats and I love other people's kids and we take them places and we do things with them and then we give them back, which is the best feeling ever. And we get to be the fun aunt and uncle, right? So let me move on. And so, the other thing too, is it would be great. I mean, I love that you're sharing here. If you feel comfortable, you may want to share in Sonder Club. We can see what other people maybe kind of come up with and kind of see what objects of their affection, right? Objects of adoration, things that you adore, things that maybe have a special place in your home, special place in your heart. Right. So hopefully that was fun. You've got some good ideas there. And I want to move on to our adoration exercise, which is in our journals, page 16. So if you've got your journal, hopefully, you can flip over to page 16, where it has the two little boxes, right? Looks like this, all right? And it's interesting. It's been interesting this month, kind of hearing people's understanding of the word adoration, kind of how people have kind of been defining it, and really kind of wrestling sometimes with how, what this means to them, right? And so if you're not a fan of the word adoration, certainly the word affection or, you know, something like that can certainly be inserted in there. But adoration can really look and feel different for everyone. I don't know if you did the daily ritual where Meha talked about the love languages, but again, right, understanding how people feel adoration is something that's very important. So we express it differently towards ourselves and to others. Explore adoration through the prompts below. So this first box is going to ask you, how do you express adoration towards others? You can sketch or write actions, gestures, or interactions that you do to make them feel loved, right? And so that's that top box. The bottom box is, how do you and others express adoration toward you? Or you could also say, how would you like people to express adoration toward you? And I see someone had put in the chat that they wanted to join this social because the word adoration makes them uncomfortable. And I totally get that. It's an interesting word. It definitely has brought up some different kinds of feelings, and really kind of thinking about what can you make it mean for you? Is it about respect? Is it about showing love? Is it about, you know, affection and respect and just those different feelings that you can have for other people? So I've got some examples, because the nice thing about doing this particular activity later in the month is that lots of people have posted already in Sonder Club. So I want to kind of help you get some ideas for things that you can do. So our lovely stage manager, Jennifer, she offered hers up for us to use as an example. And she has, for the how do you express adoration towards others, she has soap. Hubby never runs out of soap, fresh towels too. You know, that is lovely, right? I think little things like that, right? That's the other thing too. I feel like sometimes the word adoration means it's like a big thing or some grand gesture, right? It doesn't have to be like that. She makes sure that there's always soap in the shower. Notes in the mail. I love to send postcards, just random postcards. I have a huge stack of postcards, and I bought lots and lots of postcard stamps. And every day I try to just write one out to somebody real quick, just to say, hey, thinking about you, wanted you to know how I'm doing good. Hope everything is good with you. Take care. Those are really fun to do. Jennifer also has like creating traditions. Her door's always open. Scheduling her mom's healthcare and taking her to appointments. I like the 1, 2, 3. You can count on me, Jennifer. That's a fun little rhyme. She's going to cook our favorite foods. So I think we should all go over to Jennifer so she can cook us our favorite foods and handle the finances. Yeah, finances, super not fun. So it's always nice if somebody else can sometimes take those over. And then for how do you and others express adoration toward you, or how do you want adoration? I see Sherry had put her bottom box would be Silk and Sonder every month. Best thing she's ever done for herself. And that's a great way to show adoration, right? Getting your journal, coming to these socials, writing these things out, just lovely. So she has nice things like, oh, I think, does your hubby make you the warm lemon water and coffee with vanilla soy every morning? That's very nice. Tacos are always my love language. If you want to, show adoration to me, you can always bring me tacos, or sometimes I just get tacos for myself. Super hot, long shower, hanging with the fam, painted toes, her garden, a great glass of red wine, naps. She has the X's and O's from my grandma and all the books. Yes, absolutely. All the books. Here's a couple others that I pulled from Sonder Club. I love the drawing in the one on the left of kind of like how you show it to others is like, here, come here and hug. And then for self is kind of this, like a nice big self hug. The one over on the right is really nice with kind of different, notice there's some words, there's some drawings. I know some people, when they pop on here, they think like, oh my gosh, I am not an artist. I can't draw things. You don't have, you can make fancy letters. You can draw, like there's little trees and there's like a little clown with jokes. Any of those kinds of things, super fun thinking about that. Here's a couple more I love. Again, let's be honest, I love all of them, but the one on the left has words, right? I love, it's just kind of like this word dump of different, find your happy. They have kind of up at the top, and then at the bottom, they have kind of hugs and time outside, reading time, hot showers, just list. And yes, they use all sorts of fun colors. You can also use stickers. If you've got some stickers, they notice they have a nice cool border with their little washi tape. For our new folks, if you haven't gotten into the washi tape craze, it'll come. I'll be honest, I had never heard of washi tape before I started doing Silk and Sonder. And now I have a large amount of washi tape, but I honestly don't use it as much as I probably would like to. But it is fun. And you can see also over on the one in the right, she's got some stickers and some tape. And they have, I like at the bottom how they have kind of divided up as to me and then others, right? So for me, indulging candy, yoga, giving self-grace, advocating, I love that I am. They have some fun little stickers, and then others, words of affirmation. Yes, I see somebody says, don't dip your toes into the dangerous pool that is washi tape. It is a very interesting phenomenon. And the stickers too, right? Everybody's always kind of posting on there with the stickers. I have one more that I'll show you, and then I'll be quiet so you can write. Oops, no, I thought I had one more, but I guess that's all. So I had those three. So I have Jennifer's, I have these two, and I have this one. So spend some time if you want. I see some people are popping different things in there into the chat, different ways that either you express adoration towards others, you express adoration for yourself, or you express adoration for others. So I will let you work on that if I can get my mouse going, and I will check back in. And I saw that we had some folks who popped in a little bit late. So we kind of let them, I'm letting you know, like we're on page 16. I've got some of these examples for you. And someone had said like, oh my gosh, like I forgot this was on the schedule. I've had this crazy day. I feel like I'm just messing everything up. You know what? It is okay. First of all, it's always okay to come in late, right? And you can just kind of take a deep breath, let yourself be, watch the chat flow, listen to the music. Maybe if you want to just like doodle on your page, just to kind of get that pen to paper feeling. Don't worry about filling this out. And if you're like me and you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to draw a picture in this because I'm going to screw things up. First of all, you can't screw things up. This is your journal. This is only for you. I am not grading your journal. Jennifer is not grading your journal, right? This is all about you. You can always write your activities or do them on a scratch piece of paper and then transfer them in when you're feeling maybe a little more into it. Never, never, never let this journal be a source of stress for you, right? Don't feel bad if you maybe miss it for a couple days. Amanda, I'm not giving you a grade. Everybody gets an A+ for being here, right? So it's so important. I want you to feel we're happy you're here. We're happy you're hanging out with us and working in your journal. I'm going to go ahead and play a little more music because I want to make sure everybody has plenty of time to work on those boxes. If you feel like you're through, that's okay. You can pop over to your coloring page. You can pop over to the maze. I still haven't done my maze yet. And then we'll come back and then we'll move on to our next page. All right? Okay. All right. So I love the support in the chat. Everyone is so supportive because some folks are saying like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I can get this all done now, or I feel like I made a mistake, or I feel like I'm supposed to do something else, or I feel like it's supposed to be perfect, or, you know, all of these things. And as Jennifer says, this is not a one and done thing. Really, the big point to me of these socials is that you've carved out some time to get started, right? You've carved out some time to maybe think about some of the prompts. You get some great ideas from other people. Maybe you jot some little notes down. I saw someone said they have a kind of a spare little notebook where they kind of jot things down and do kind of some drafty stuff to put things, and then they go and do their journal later. And never feel guilty about not completing something or doing a full page. And, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to go back. Even now, you could go back to like November's journal and work on it, or, you know, any of these activities. They're not the kind of thing where it's not Mission Impossible where this journal will self-destruct in a certain amount of time, right? This is here for you to use. And I've often found some of the activities that maybe aren't my favorite in the beginning when I see them that month, I like them later. I can think about them later, especially when I scroll through the Sonder Club and kind of see different ways that people have worked on those. So hopefully you've got maybe a good start on these, or you've got some ideas, and you can always come to these socials and just watch the chat scroll, participate in chat or not. You don't have to work on your journal, listen to my funny instrumental versions of different songs that I find. This really is just time for you to be able to take for yourself. So let's move on to our adoration poem. This is one that I've seen lots of fun ones posted. And again, I pulled some pictures from Sonder Club so that I can show you for some examples, because I'll be honest, I've kind of struggled with this one a little bit, trying to figure out if I want to do it with just words, if I want to try to actually make full sentences that go together in a poem. So this is on page 19. Looks like this. Right? And so you're going to create your own acrostic poem using the word adoration. So here are some examples that I pulled from Sonder Club. And you can see kind of, here's two different approaches, right? The person on the left, they have anchor for my spirit, delight for my soul, our love was brief but fierce, regularly I think of you, adoration and awe mixed with this forever heartache, I will love you beyond forever. Only you could touch my walled up heart. Never leave me again. Stay here in my soul forever. That is beautiful. I don't know how long it took for that person to do that one, but it's lovely. But then just as lovely is the one on the right with words: admire, dream, observe, reach, adapt, trust, imagine, open, nurture. That is just as lovely, right? Both of those are fabulous. I have another set of examples, right? So again, kind of this, both of these are more of the kind of sentences, apple of my eye, daring to love you even more, and it goes on through there. Or the one on the right, always yearning to do it better, or rather, could I approach things differently, thanking myself and others instead of the negativity of not good enough, right? These are so fun. And so creative. I love the creativity of everyone in Sonder Club and their willingness to post these. There were a few people who said, I was really nervous about posting this. This is why I don't have any names attached at all. But they were like, but I'm going to post it there. We definitely, Jennifer, we definitely have some bona fide poets in Sonder Club. I think these are amazing. I have one more set to show you. Again, I love the different colors. That is definitely the kind of thing that I would do. I love to kind of use the different colors. And you can see the one on the left, they were focusing on self-adoration, right? Action brings clarity. Dump perfection, you don't need it. Observe and acknowledge uncomfortable emotions. Remember my Silk and Sonder why. Action is the best solution for perfectionism. And I love the fact that there's whiteout on that one, right? You can use whiteout in your Sonder journal. It's okay. I have used some of the tape, like the whiteout correction tape to cover over things, right? Trust myself, intentionally get all 7 types of rest, open my heart for self-love, nourish your inner child. It's amazing, right? I love that. Again, the one on the right, amazed at how you love me. Drink in the delight. Open your heart to this joy. Remember the good. Applaud and celebrate every win. Taking time to breathe it in. I am worthy by just being. Oppose negative self talk. Nestle in the sensation. I love that word, nestle. That is great. These are beautiful. And I will bet that you can come up with some beautiful ones too. If you're like me and you feel pressure trying to do it with an audience, even though no one can see you, I can't even see you, Jennifer can't see you. But if you feel pressure, again, you can kind of just jot some ideas down that you have. You can color, you can do your maze, you can just listen to the music. So I'm going to play some music and I'm going to let you work on that. If you want to share some of the things that you have in the chat, please feel free to do so. And I'll pop back in and check on you here in just a minute. right. Well, I think everyone here is a poet and should go and publish their beautiful acrostic poems. Such fabulous, fabulous things. And I think you all were just saying that you couldn't do this, just you're like a plant, or like that person who what do they call it when they say like they can't play pool, but then they actually are, fabulous at playing pool and they like take people's money. What is that called? I can't think of what that's called. A hustler. Yeah, you guys are all poetic hustlers saying that you couldn't do this, because I see so many fabulous, fabulous things. And you are right. Sometimes just being in this environment with other people who are, able to encourage you, you're able to just kind of let things flow out of your brain, knowing that there's no judgment. There is no right or wrong way. This is absolutely yours. Thank you so much for sharing in the chat some of your poems. I would love to see, if you feel comfortable, there is no obligation whatsoever to share in Sonder Club, but I know that people love to see examples, and that's where I found these, right, to be able to share with you. So if you feel comfortable with it, share your poem. I know there's probably still some other people who are struggling with this or thinking like, I'm not going to do it. I am going to I'll try to write one for hops, and I will put that in the Sonder Club so that you can see that. So you can see my little adoration poem to my bunny. And we, believe it or not, we have come to the end of our hour together. So if hopefully everyone has Sonder Club, you've been able to download that app, you're on there, you're posting. They are so great. There's the daily rituals in there. There's the affirmations. They've got some fun journal prompts that they put in there. Take a look at that. Make sure you're signing up for the March socials. I know they posted those, I think it was maybe on Thursday last week. And they do fill up fast, as you know, so make sure you sign up for those, get on the wait list, because sometimes folks are able to get in from the wait list if they do fill up. There's also, here's the QR code that you can scan with your phone to take a survey. Jennifer also put the link in the chat. You're welcome. Please let us know how we did, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. Things that help you, things that you appreciated from tonight's social, any of those kinds of things, ideas, fun things that you want to do. We're constantly brainstorming new ideas of different things we can do in the socials. We've got a lot of fun things coming up, but all of our ideas come from you, right? Someone has said, I would love to have this. I would love to have a book club. We'd love to have like a walking social. So we're kind of playing with all these different ideas. So thank you so much for being here tonight. As promised, here is my playlist, the songs that I had for this evening. And I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week. Everybody has a good start on their poem. They have a good start on their activity. Everyone has that idea of their object of adoration. And hopefully I will see you again on another social soon. So have a fabulous week, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Hey, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Every day could be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna be difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way around it. Everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Hey, feeling blessed, never stressed. my Sunday best. Some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep good things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. And just say whatever, cause there is no way around it. Everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Hey, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine